What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Fantasy Sports Insight edition of our Showdown Breakdown. This is for a Sunday night game between the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. I'm really excited to see Cam in a primetime game now with his new team. I think just the styles of both teams and how much depth both of them have is going to make this showdown slate particularly interesting because I don't think that we're going to just see a lot of chalk builds. But we will get into it. Before I get into it, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like, throw us a comment. It's all greatly appreciated. Also, I just want to give a shout out to our Monkey Knife Fight crew in our free Discord channel. It is completely free, but there are people that are busting their butt every day looking for edges and comparing the plays and just like and sharing with the community. So we are all winning in there together. We do post some of our daily fantasy sports plays for Monkey Knife Fight from our team members as well, but it is definitely a joint effort. So if you're looking for something new along playing with DraftKings, check out Monkey Knife Fight and get over to our Discord channel. And I will put the link in the description below. So let's get into this slate. Yeah, I don't know, just breaking it down, already looking at it ahead of time. It is going to be an interesting one. I think there's a lot of value to be had, but it also can be a little bit of false value because the upside really isn't there. So if everybody just meets value and there's a lot of value plays, then it reduces the shine to that value. But we have the Patriots coming in as a plus 170 underdog. Seattle is going to be minus 200, a 4-point favorite, over under a 45 points. Now, we saw both of them play last week in completely different atmospheres. We had Seattle against Atlanta, who didn't play any defense. Seattle won 35-28. I think Russell Wilson attempted like 25 passes in the first half or something crazy like that. Obviously, we don't really expect that to happen in this type of game where New England wants to slow the game down. They want to control the ball on the run. Seattle likes to run the ball too, but when you're going up against the Atlanta defense, it was really easy to just chuck it wherever you wanted to, and just the pace of the game was up. So let's get into our actual builds. I think just off the top, I'm not going to talk a lot about Russell Wilson and Cam Newton, but I think and the prices are very indicative of it that they are going to be clearly the top two plays of the slate. Just they both have rushing touchdown equity. They both are going to be obviously just are going to get parts of all the touchdowns. Now, I think it's different than last week. Joe Burrow burned me a little bit, but you could really get to all the pieces in that other game and feel really comfortable. I think just how the styles of these teams play, it's going to be harder to pick those other secondary players that you feel really confident in, where you'd rather, at least in cash, load up your price, your salary on those top two guys. Now, using one of them in captain might be a little bit more restrictive, but I think definitely in cash games, want to make sure Russell Wilson and Cam Newton are in your lineup. So let's move down. Let's start on the Seattle side first. They are the favorite here. We have Carson over 20 fantasy points last week, but had a really weird game. If you look at his logs, if you look at the log, he caught two receiving touchdowns, which I think is a little bit harder to repeat than getting that goal line touchdown that was vultured by Carlos Hyde. So Hyde did come in for like a 1 or 2 yard touchdown that normally you think Chris Carson would be in for. Hyde did take that away, and he only had 6 rushing attempts, and he was only on the field for 48% of the snaps. So that is a little bit concerning, especially against a better run defense in New England, who obviously shut down Miami completely last week. I think he's definitely in play because he has the receiving upside. They're going to set up screens. They're going to try to get him the ball, but I don't think he is a lock. I think with this kind of timeshare thing, running back by committee, them getting Carlos Hyde and Homer in the mix, which we'll talk about later, I think he's definitely still the lead back, and I still think he's going to have a lot more than 6 carries this week. But I do know that he is getting some of his value cut into by other players. So definitely playable in cash, not a lock. Next, we have Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. And I think this dilemma is going to kind of go on to every slate that they're together. I do think just DK Metcalf being on the outside, being a perimeter receiver, I do think he will get matched up with Gilmore, which would be, the less than ideal matchup if you're looking to play DK Metcalf, where you're going to get Tyler Lockett in the slot, likely with a much better matchup offensively. Now, saying that, DK Metcalf's a stud. He can still make plays, and they're going to try to get him the ball deep. And we know Russell Wilson likes the air yards. We know that he likes to get that ball. He's not going to just throw a ton of little short passes. He'll take his shots with Lockett, take his shots with DK. So I think both of them are in play. I think in cash, I just lean Lockett just because I do think he might have a safer reception floor. But I think both of them are definitely in play. I just don't think we don't expect repeat performances in a much different game environment. I think you might be looking at 12 to 15 and be happy with them rather than that near 20. Julie, we're going to stay on Seattle side of the ball. Sorry. Greg Olsen, 4 targets last week, 4 catches, and did get the touchdown. 6,200, I think it's viable. If you land in this range, I still prefer to get to James White because I do see a game script here where Seattle actually has the lead late, and then we do see more James White. The fact that he had 8.5 points almost in a game where they basically led the whole time and were running the ball, it just kind of shows you how easy it is for somebody like James White to rack up fantasy points in a point per reception scoring format. So 7K seems really cheap for James White in what's likely a positive game script. So I would rather pay 800 more to get the James White than paying 6,200 for Greg Olsen, even though I do know Russell Wilson loves his tight ends. Sony Michel, 5,600, 9.7 points last week, did have a touchdown. I mean, just talk about a boring play to me, conservative. If you think, I think New England obviously is still going to try to run the ball, but I think if he doesn't score, he's not going to have any catches. So no score, probably 3 to 5 points. So probably a pass for me at 5,600. N'Keal Harry is questionable, but I'm sorry, I'm kind of jumping to New England here. But N'Keal Harry and Julian Edelman are both questionable, but likely to play. I think both are viable. I think the savings is really nice on Harry, but obviously I think Edelman will definitely lead the team in targets and have the most upside. And again, a matchup that could be a positive game script for New England late in the game. Moving down here, defenses. I think both are maybe in play. Russell Wilson doesn't turn the ball over that much. It could be low scoring. Cam definitely is turnover prone at times, so maybe I'd lean Seattle over New England, but I don't really love either of them here. I guess Cam does concede some sacks, so I definitely, if I'm going to play one, I'd lean Seattle. Jason Myers and Nick Folk. I think both kickers are in play for cash. I don't think that you go out of your way to make them work, but I think they're definitely viable in cash. David Moore, probably going to get 2 to 4 targets, might get 10 points. Definitely viable at 3,800. Carlos Hyde, like I mentioned before, had the next most snaps played on the team, did have 7 carries, and had that one short touchdown that was taken away from Chris Carson when he came in. So consider him in play at 3,400. Now we're moving down. This is where I was talking about. There's a lot of guys that are going to be playing down here. And sometimes you get below 3K and it's like one guy's even active, but we have a lot of guys down here that are going to play. Dorsett is questionable, but could play, could have a small role. Disley, somebody that we saw, with an expanded role last year when he was the only tight end, but him and Hollister plus Olsen, these 2 guys are going to be more of your big formations where they're running 2-3 tight ends, maybe at the goal line. Nothing I'm really interested in. We have Ryan Izzo, tight end for New England. Here's where you're going to see like Rex Burkhead, 1,000, 1,000. He had 7 carries last week for 32 yards. He had more carries than Chris Carson, and he only had 3 carries less, I think, than Sony Michel. So 1,000, it's really tough for him to not get value. Like if he gets 3 to 4 points, you're kind of happy. But this is where I was talking about. We have Homer. I think that's how you say his name, Travis Homer. Had 3 carries, caught 2 balls, 600. Okay, he scores 2 points. JJ Taylor, 4 carries, 28 yards. He caught a ball. Like all these guys are getting time. So I mean, they all can kind of meet value, but I mean, there's just not a lot of differentiation. I would say Burkhead is definitely the best chance to, eclipse 5 points maybe. If he gets a long run or catches a ball to the backfield, maybe he gets a short touchdown, which would be unlikely because it would probably go to Michelle. I just think all 3 of these guys probably are in the 2 to 5 point range. So all have a really good chance at meeting 3 to 4x in their value, but they probably don't have the upside to actually take down a GPP unless whatever piece you're getting from that goes off. But I don't see one of these guys miraculously scoring 10 plus fantasy points. So that's just kind of my take. They're all in play. Izzo, Burkhead, Taylor, Homer. Burkhead being my favorite. But I don't think any of them are a must. And I don't think that one of those guys is going to be the reason that you win the GPP. So that's kind of my take on the entire slate. I don't know. Excuse me. Recording in the middle of the night will bring on some yawns, but the kids are sleeping, and hey, it's my time to dive into fantasy football. So hopefully these showdown breakdowns help you a ton. Today I realized that DK just decided to offer a showdown for every single game on Sunday, which is insane, but that is the way that people like to play. You focus on one game. I think there's definitely an edge. But be on the lookout for Monday night. I will have another video out. Again, appreciate the support, the video, the likes, the shares, the comments, the subscribing. It helps us out a ton. And we love niche sports. I love niche sports. So these showdown slates are a lot of fun to tackle. So again, last 2 plugs. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. If you're interested in Monkey Knife Fight, hit me up on Twitter. I can get you some bonus on your deposit signing up through us. And then you can also, even if you already signed up, you can get to our free Discord channel. We have guys talking about the Monkey Knife Fight content every single day. And, win together, lose together. I think we are definitely in the green quite often. So be sure to check out that link below. Again, I appreciate it. This is Hold the Door DFS. I am signing off now.